Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we highlight the esoteric dimensions of the life of the Prophet Idris, aleyhi salam, by addressing the mysteries surrounding his death, his elevation to paradise, and the profound spiritual truths implied in his journey through the teachings of Seydi Mohamed El Cheikhh. Today, we will discuss the story of Prophet Idris. The question that leads us to speak about Prophet Idris is the following. According to Quranic exegetes, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, will be the first to set foot in paradise. Yet sacred history teaches us that Prophet Idris already resides there. How is this possible? We can say that this prophet's mission is unique in that his connections with the unseen world, Ghayb, were more intense than those he established with the perceptible world, earthly life. What is recorded in the manual of the unseen world holds greater significance than what has been retained in the visible earthly realm, Shahâda. According to sacred history, there are 124,000 prophets. Among them, 313 were sent to earth, and 27 are mentioned in the Quran. Their missions depend on the context in which they were sent. Some received an explicit outward mission, Shahâda, while others were entrusted with a mission rooted in Haqiqa, the hidden esoteric dimension. Certain prophets had the advantage of embodying both types of missions during their time on earth, meaning they were anchored in both the perceptible and hidden worlds. For these prophets, their journeys are rich in teachings for both the Ghayb and Shahâda realms, and their names are preserved in sacred history. Such is the case of Prophet Idris, aleyhi salam, who occupies a significant place in the divine order governing his relationship with the realm of hidden realities. To understand God's statement that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, will be the first to enter paradise, we must distinguish the different meanings of presence according to context. Indeed, the Prophet, peace be upon him, has always been present in paradise, but spiritually. All creation originates from the divine light, and the first thing created was the light of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, what is known as the Muhammadan reality. All the illuminations of paradise, which ceaselessly chant Salamane Salaman, derive their radiance from the celestial realm above paradise called Al-Haqa'iqil Munzil. This celestial realm draws its source from the prophetic light, and it is from this realm that the sun and moon were fashioned. The second manifestation of the Prophet's spiritual presence lies in the inscription of his name within the phrase La ilaha illallah Muhammadu Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger, on all objects and materials in paradise, utensils, helicopters, cars, etc. This constitutes irrefutable proof of the primacy of the Prophet's, peace be upon him, presence. His physical presence, however, will occur after the official ceremony marking the conclusion of the Day of Judgment. It is this second presence that people refer to when they say no one will enter paradise before the Prophet, peace be upon him. At that time, when the ceremony concludes, Prophet Muhammad will proceed to the Ilian paradise, escorted by his companions, the most distinguished being the four caliphs, the great helper pole, and his caliphs, helper poles, who were sent to revive Islam in their time, and some other saints. They will be followed by individuals granted divine approval who will cross the Sirat bridge. Some will traverse it via helicopters, others by boats, while certain Tijani disciples will use their Inayatu Rabbaniyu, a sphere of light that served as their vehicle during celestial travels. After crossing the Sirat, the entire assembly will head toward paradise. At 200 meters from the Edenic gates, all lights will go out to honor Sayyidina Umar, who, during his caliphate, ensured mosques were equipped with lighting. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, will ask Umar to advance to 100 meters from paradise. At that moment, all lights will relight. allowing the prophet to precede him and enter paradise first. The story of Prophet Idris profoundly impacted the unseen world. Two major events rendered his mission extraordinary. The first is the manner of his death. Typically, prophets, always connected to the unseen world Ghayb, are informed of their mission's progression, including its beginning and end. Prophet Idris, peace be upon him, however, erred regarding the information he received from the higher spheres of the true reality. He scheduled a meeting with his people 24 hours after his presumed death. In the meticulously organized realm of Ghayb, all actors have specific roles, and no deviation from divine decrees is permitted. Thus, he announced to his people 48 hours before his destined death his desire to address them. 24 hours before this meeting, the angel Gabriel, appeared to inform him his mission had ended. Idris replied he could not depart yet, as he needed to fulfill commitments, otherwise his mission would feel incomplete. Jibril returned to heaven and informed God, who instructed him to entrust the matter to the angel of death, tasked with claiming Idris's soul in the sixth heaven. A ruse was devised by the two angels. The angel of death assumed Jibril's guise under the pretext of escorting Idris to converse with God in the celestial spheres. Obsessed with the speech he planned for his people, Idris did not realize his companion was not Jibril. Thus, the angel of death carried him to the sixth heaven near the current seat of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. There, the angel of death stated he now had the opportunity to claim Idris's soul per divine order. However, God had instructed him not to compel Idris due to his status as a prophet. The angel of death then clarified that his duty was to withdraw Idris's soul in the sixth heaven, and the rest was beyond his authority. Consequently, Prophet Idris died in the sixth heaven at the site of Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, seat. Why was Idris so unsettled at his mission's end? Prophet Idris had requested to visit paradise, which God granted. However, God specified this would be a spiritual journey. Only his soul, Ruh, would travel. God connected him to 4 angels guarding paradise as escorts. Idris entered a corridor near the Prophet Muhammad's seat called Wasila, one of paradise's most beautiful passages. Adjacent to it lies the Salsabil Sea, whose waves and currents create a magnificent spectacle. Proceeding further, he reached a second corridor, leading to Ilion. Overwhelmed by the splendor, beauty, and serene climate, unlike anything on earth, Idris stood in awe. At the visit's conclusion, the angels asked him to return to earth, but he refused, citing God's decree. Whoever enters paradise will never leave. The angels faced a dilemma. Forcing him out would violate God's covenant. In his infinite mercy, God acknowledged that ordering Idris's expulsion would contradict his word. Since Idris entered paradise only with his soul, God commanded the angels escorting him to retrieve a coffin of light created from his name, Salam, and place his soul within it. Thus, in paradise's Wasila area, Idris's soul rests in a luminous coffin, preserved. This occurred 41 days before his physical death, while his body remained on earth, Shahâda. His mission was incomplete, yet a body cannot live without a soul. Idris possessed a divine gift akin to that of the supreme pole, the ability to replace his soul with the light of his devotional focus, zikr. Such a miraculous feat allows those capable of spiritual veiling, hijab, to multiply their presence across locations. Idris's primary zikr was La ilaha illallah, central to his mission. He thus replaced his soul with this light, enabling him to complete his mission. While alive on earth, the unseen world, Ghayb, regarded him as deceased, resting in Wasila. After 41 days, Jibril returned to announce his mission's end and imminent death. The angel of death, disguised as Jibril, approached. Idris sought to negotiate time to fulfill his commitments, having summoned his people for final counsel. Why did God deny his request, unlike Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who was offered prolonged earthly life but declined? Because Idris broke his promise after visiting paradise. He was to return to his body and complete his mission, which he failed to do. With his soul in paradise, the angel of death could not withdraw the light of La ilaha illallah, serving as his ruh on earth. God decreed this could occur only in the sixth heaven. There, the angel of death retrieved the secret of miracles, the light of La ilaha illallah, from Idris's chest. Idris's body was then taken to the fourth heaven, where prophets without earthly missions reside. There, the light's secret was returned, reviving him. Idris now resides in the fourth heaven, engaged in the zikr of God's 100th name, Ismullahil Azam, awaiting Judgment Day. His original soul remains in the luminous coffin at Wasila. During judgment, he will witness events with the La ilaha illallah soul. Once the official ceremony concludes and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, settles in paradise, Idris's soul from Wasila will reunite with his being, replacing the light in his chest. Only then will he fully inhabit paradise. For now, in the fourth heaven, he perceives paradise's fragrances and blessings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.